Howdy, guys and gals, and welcome to Day 1C of the main event. So it's WCOAP Live 2023. It's upon us. We're at GGPoker tonight, Leigh. We're at Dust Till Dawn tomorrow night, Day 1C. What do the numbers look like tonight?
Well, the numbers, first of all, a very warm welcome from sunny Kenilworth.
Oh, yeah.
It's glorious here. Honestly, wish you could be here, Des. It's a superb.
Far too many books. Too many books behind you for me, Leigh.
Yeah, no, very, very enjoying the hospitality of the Haycocks here in Kenilworth the night before the WCOAP from Dust Till Dawn. So yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, we've got Day 1C. So we managed to get up to 89 runners yesterday, and 13 of those made it through to Day 2 and bagged up those virtual chips. And another 79 have popped in to GGPoker tonight and are playing Day 1C. So 11 of those are going to be making their way through to Sunday. But boy, have they got a chip leader to chase down after last night. Have they? What was that all about?
Leigh, who is this guy that basically took all of the chips? 3.7 million, Stephen Tees.
Didn't he just, don't know much about Stephen, to be honest. We guessed from his username on GGPoker's Steve Owl. We thought, well, we're assuming maybe Sheffield based. Well, it looks like he is Sheffield based. Not really much on the Hendon mob. Had a cash from a long way back on there, but yeah, got 3.7 million chips, which is 3 times more than the second best player at the moment, which is a player that qualified from Dust Till Dawn on Sunday. Now, we did a little bit looking at him. We were just talking about him before the show started, Des, weren't we? Because we were talking. You said, "I'm sure I recognise the name." You were saying, weren't you, to me? I know Elliot Crowder from somewhere. Well, we had a quick look, and Elliot finished second in the UKPC, which is sponsored by GGPoker, in January at Dust Till Dawn, picking up a cool 70,000 for that. Pretty much, he's got about 4 other. He's had a few other cashes at Dust Till Dawn, little small ones, but that's not a bad one for this year. So so well done to Elliot for that. Obviously from earlier on in the year, and he's now made Day 2 of the WCOAP main event on Sunday as well. So superb.
He's second in chips at the moment, and quite a way behind Stephen, our chip leader. But you've got to look out for Elliot, right? He's shown a bit of a recent form with a spectacular result back in January, as you said, Leigh. So let's get a table up. There we go, sir.
There we go. Players are just coming back from the break, which was at 5 to 10. So we're down to 41 players at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how this is all going to pan out. Now, of course, what we should also do is, we were, as is always the way when we're on a new site, and some people tend to fly under the radar. We know how these, we know what people are like with these things. So we had a few players last night that we were actually railing without us necessarily even knowing, who they were. I don't know whether you've looked at the kind of the Day 2 lists in any detail, but we recognised, we worked out who Chris Webber was in the end, and Chris came through with sort of 585,000, and we can put that in perspective for you. So we're pretty much going to probably start Day 2 at level 17 because Tom loves 80s music, so it's level 17.
Oh, is that how we do it?
No, it's that would mean it'd be level 42, but we couldn't start there. That would just be crazy. So Chris will start with what roughly is going to be about 29 bigs. So 29, 30 bigs is a pretty decent stack going into a Day 2. Not an issue whatsoever. Obviously, Stephen's stack is going to be up around 180 plus bigs. I mean, it's just a crazy number to be going for. Average stack will be about 660,000, somewhere around there, 660, 670, something along those lines. So Chris Webber's going to have a decent stack. Just ahead of Chris, playing last night, didn't even know, under the radar, one Rob Swindells.
I saw his name on the list we put up earlier.
So Rob made it through with 589,000. So very well done to him. A belated well done to him last night. David Johnson made it through, who we think might be David Johnson. Used to play a lot of the Grosvenor events and did quite well in there. David's got 522,000. We obviously mentioned Simon Brooke, who was nursing
Yeah, yeah.
a really short stack
A
all the
bowl.
way last night. Yeah, absolute bowl, but has ended up with 282,000, which is going to be about 14 bigs
Can work with
going into
that.
day two. Yeah, of course you can. So plenty to play for. Obviously, the short stack at the moment. I was just waiting for a name on T Donkson to confirm that, who is going to have 6 bigs. It was 4 last night when we finished, because obviously we've moved on another level to level 18 then. But as Simon um, Lawler quite pointed out, 4 bigs is where he thought it was going to end for the short stack last night. It did, but obviously because we'll roll back a level, actually they'll have about 6 bigs to play with. But of course they've got them in cash, and that's the thing. They're already locked up for a cash on
In the
Sunday.
money.
If they want to, they can forfeit that stack if they want to play another day one, and give it a go. But we very rarely do players do that, Des. I think once they've locked up a min cash for a day two, they just kind of go, yeah, we'll crack on and play that. And of
Great.
course, at the Worlds, even more so, because there's so many other events to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Absolutely stacks that you can play. That really, once you've locked up a cash for your day, and you've got a stack of chips, yeah, you're probably just going to go on, move on, and play some other stuff, and then see what happens come Sunday.
Yeah, no, absolutely right, Lee. So listen, there's a bunch of you watching. I can tell chat box a bit quiet at the moment. So don't be shy. Get your questions in there, and Lee and I will discuss them as we sort out the men from the boys, the girls from the ladies here on Day 1C. So Simon is out there, the first to talk. Lifetime Hendon Mop 1700, I think we're talking about, well, it's not Elliot. We know it's not Elliot. So presumably what, Stephen?
No, Stephen's not even that. Stephen was a couple of hundred.
I thought he was a bit shorter.
Unless he's got multiple accounts, it might be there's more than one account. I did have a quick look and I couldn't see any more than that. But yeah.
Quite possibly. Simon is again watching on YouTube, on the big screen, nothing like it. Ashley Partridge is out there as well. What's a good stack? So I think we're saying average about 600,000, Lee. You're saying in that sort of region.
So if we say that average stat would be about it works out, if you do the maths completely, it's 666, so 666,000, which will roughly be 33 big blinds.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your average stack. Now, I would argue that
15, 20 bigs.
What it depends what you consider a good stack. Some people will say any stack that's gotten through to a day two is a good stack, and they're quite happy with that. So it depends what you consider. I think if you've got anything around average stack going into a day two, it's very good. A good stack, or maybe a good stack is somewhere up near heading towards the million mark, because that's going to give you somewhere around sort of 50 bigs going into a day, a day two. That feels 50, 60 bigs feels plenty, Des, doesn't it, for playing a day two? Obviously, we moved to a 45-minute clock on a day two live, so. The guys online have been playing a really generous 12-minute clock. Actually, it's really, you're getting some good value with no reg fee as well online. So actually, the last 2 days we've been playing the online ones. I think that's why we've had so many people playing. It's been good. Day one live is a 25-minute clock. We have got a turbo on the Saturday night as well. Sorry, but then that 25-minute clock turns to a 40-minute clock on the day two. So you're gonna get absolute stacks of play. In this. This is the same structure that we've been running for all of our national championship events this year, and the feedback we've had from players, they just absolutely love it. We were at Coventry the other week, and there was even players moaning the structure was too good, Des. There was a conversation, somebody was having a conversation with Tom Brady,
having that, Lee,
saying the structure's too good. I mean, what is that all about? I mean, it's absolutely great. So you've got loads and loads of play. And the guys that were making the final table in Coventry, again, were raving about it, because even on the final table, they have plenty of play to actually play some poker, which is what we're there for. That's the idea of what we want to do. So the answer to what's a good stack, I think it's very much a kind of where you see yourself being. But I think it's certainly anywhere between average and a mil is good. Anything over a mil, I think you're doing very well. Winner last year, Dan Houston, he rocked up. He played online, and he was the chip leader coming through from the online day one last year with nearly 1.2 million, and he went on to win it. So just goes to show. Not to say that Stephen's 3.75 million is gonna win it for him, but I know there was some stuff. I'm in a couple of the different groups within APAT, and the Team Gotham guys were crunching the numbers earlier on today, Des, as you can only imagine they were doing, and they were kind of working out, well, if we get 500 runners, that means the average on the final table will be about 6 million. of chips. So they were kind of working out well. So at 3.75 million, I mean, yeah, I mean, he only needs to double up and then, you know,
Yeah, but
blind out a little bit, and he could be on the final
there isn't
table. I mean,
there isn't anybody out there who can double him up, Lee. That's the problem.
no,
At this point in time.
if he could double up his stack in, you know, by winning one, then and get to that. But you know, so again, it's interesting. You look at targets throughout the event, obviously, but you know, that's also, hey, the most important thing at the moment is get yourself to Sunday. That's what these players are looking to do now. As I say, we're down to 39 from the 79 that started this. They're all trying to bag up some chips for Sunday, and then they'll worry about Sunday when we get there. We got a lot of poker to play and a lot of events.
Hell of a lot of poker. And listen, the lovely Dawn Cook speaks for all of us, Lee, when she says, is it Wednesday yet? One more sleep. We're all getting together. We're all getting together in Nottingham. Lee, did you get the invite?
I have very much.
You've got the invite? You're already there.
I'm
You're en route.
I believe. Yeah, I think I'm opening the doors. Yeah, that's
incredible stuff. So, cannot wait. Right, here's a technical question, Lee. I don't know why this is being, presented on this show, but do you think they should allow? Is they us? It might be us. Do you think they should allow re-entries without forfeiting stacks and playing highest stack for day 2?
Oh, I think that's a really very, very good idea. Who's asked that question?
Oh, it's from Gaz Howard. I mean,
oh, it's a rubbish idea. Absolute shocking idea. What's he thinking?
He must have read that on the BCPC forum or something, Lee. Yeah, I mean, Gaz couldn't have come up with that question, right? There's too much going on.
We're not going to. No, we're not. I mean, I understand where Gaz is coming from with the full, but we're never going to be in a situation where we're going to be playing. You know, you can fire multiple bullets with, and then just having your high stack go through. It changes the dynamic far too much. We've obviously. APAT's kind of progressed from, we've always been about the freeze outs and always been about, you know, championship events and you have one shot at it and that's the way it is. And we have gradually kind of progressed with the times and appreciating what's going on to where we're at now, where we've got what is effectively a daily freeze out, so, or a flight freeze out, whereby each day is treated as a one-off. So once you bust that day, you can't sit back down and have another stack of chips in that day. But we give the flexibility to allow players to, if they've come for a weekend, to be able to have a couple of shots at the main event or be able to play online. And I think that's probably is pushing the boundary as far as we're going to go for our championship events. You've got to remember there's a title at the end of each of these. Somebody come Monday is going to be World Amateur Poker Champion for 2023. And will add themselves to the list of names, which I don't know
significant names, Lee.
Yeah, and we popped the video up before the show starts, which has got all the names on there, because we've got all the previous champions on the little promo video. You can find it on Twitter, and well, it's not Twitter anymore, on X. If you want to find it, but you know, maybe we should play that video at the end of the show as well. Actually, and then they can see that. Yeah.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Lee. We'll do it in the break, right? When we hit the first break, we'll play the video.
But, you know, the names that have won this, and it is important, and so I don't think we'll ever get to that point. So yeah, we'll have to go with it as is. I think it's as flexible as we can give it now, while still keeping the championship feel to these events.
Yeah, look, a lovely little comment from Kevin Silver Lee. Great stream. Thank you, Kevin. We like that very much.
That's we Kevin can come back more often.
Very much.
Like those, yeah.
We do indeed. Simon says, do you know how many satellite winners are taking credit to DTD? And if they don't use it, is it forfeited? It's a good question.
I would imagine they will all use them. No reason not to. But we have got a mechanism in process. So GG are managing this at the moment. They've had a look today, and they'll check again tomorrow just to get. If we already have, I've got a rough feel already of who's used what already, and I can see some names again today of people that have got doubled up. We have got some guys that have got. I mean, Badugi 1 2 3 4.
He's got about 17.
He's picked up 5 tickets, so can only use 2, and has used. Yeah, and has used 2 of them, so we'll get 3 to go to credit. They'll all go to Dust Till Dawn. Anybody that doesn't use it, is a use them or lose them. At Dust Till Dawn. However, we will. We're all understanding of player situations, and we'll have a look and see what's going on. But there's no reason why, if you play these satellites and you've won more than 2 tickets, and it might be you've just not needed. I mean, a perfect example will be Simon Brooke, who I think had won a couple of tickets. got through last night on his first ticket, so he'll use his second one at Dusk Till Dawn come this week. But we'll tile that up and make sure there's no issues there. Yeah,
we will indeed. Steve's out there. Leigh, hello everyone. I don't think anyone is going to break 4 million chips tonight. I think Steve is probably right about that. We saw a hot.
You say that. You say that.
Well, let's come back to it, Leigh. When we get to the table, we'll come back to that. You're obviously sounding like that might occur, but it seemed to me like Mr. Owl had a super hot last hour last night. It was impressive to see.
Well, what he had, he hit a lot of cards, but it wasn't just that he hit a lot of cards. He hit a lot of cards and was up against
people with good hands,
players with
big stacks.
But with big stacks. It was the top five. He bust sort of 3 players in the top 5 within fairly quick succession and went from 1.2 million to 3 million, and then just carried on raising and was picking up some chips, and then of course bust Ben Burnhill, who was the bubble player last night. Ben had a reasonably decent stack as well.
He did,
and that just then tipped him up from sort of 3.3 million to 3.7 million, busting that final player. And I think that one was just a flip. That one was, but other times, he said he was in with aces versus another pair, and it was just a
lot of queens
storm for him. Really
worked out for him. Steve did go on to say he thinks maybe though 3 big blinds may make it tonight. So we will see. 11 going
Quite
through
possibly.
tonight, Leigh. 11 tonight,
right.
two less
11,
than last night. Danny Williams is out there. Mr. Poker News. I worry about Tuesday, let alone Sunday. Quite right. What you need to be worrying about, Dan Williams, sir, is getting our stream on pokernews.com for the final table. Bank holiday Monday. That's what we want, Leigh, isn't it?
I saw a message that Dan. I'm not sure that Dan is maybe going to be able to make it for a couple. I'm not sure. I thought I saw a message earlier on that was suggesting
awesome if he
might. That he might be, he was maybe considering it one or other.
He's traveling at the moment, right? He's overseas, I believe.
Yeah, I think possibly, yeah, but yeah. So I'll find out. But I just picked up something. It's been a bit of a travel day for me, so I've kind of been picking messages up here, there, and everywhere. So I'll double check that in the morning.
Leigh, just reconfirm again in the GG lobby. It says only your biggest stack goes through.
Yeah, it does.
We fixed
so there's
that,
a
right?
little. Yeah, there's a little glitch on the software when they're setting these multi-day tournaments up, and weirdly they can't. It's kind of hard coded. So when you decide to do one thing, it forces that message, and you can't change it basically. So we made it very clear when we put those out that although it says that in the lobby, and that's also up on the website as well, that it says that on the lobby, that is very much not the case. And GG customer service is aware of that as well. So if any players contacted about that, they will be given exactly the same message as well. So we've been putting that message out to everybody to make it very, very, very clear. Obviously, we might get the odd person that just reads the lobby and doesn't think anything of, but we'll deal with that if we need to. But I think we're all grown up here to know what the situation is.
Quite right. Leigh, Eddie, and I giggled a bit at this. I did giggle. He said because Ducati Die is somewhere in the tourney, hopefully still going. But he did ask the question, even in all, is multi-table allowed? So a little bit complicated, that one.
Right. Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. So, I mean, you can have a look on the website. The best thing to do, a lot of these questions are already answered. If you go on to apat.com/WCOAP, the brief is all there. It's worth having a scan through. Multi-tabling gets mentioned in there. Tom's got a little paragraph on it. And pretty much the agreement is because of the what we've got going on, yes, you can enter more than one tournament. However, there is a condition that if you were on the final table of an event, that has to take priority. And Tom's very clear on exactly what that means by taking priority. Not a case of I'm just going to get up and go and play somewhere else. No, unless you're on a break, you can't then go and jump across and play another tournament whilst you're on a final table. I think that's pretty much the one condition, is just that you need to give that the appreciation for both the tournament and for the other players at the final table that it deserves. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, go and check out the website. All the info's there.
Carl is there, the captain. Evening, guys. Great schedule for WCOAP. Gutted I can't make it, but best of luck to all those fighting it out for braces. We're going to miss Carl, an APAT legend. National titles galore.
It's a few that we're gonna for lots of reasons. It always is the same with the Worlds, where we it's always as much as we're there enjoying the company of everybody that is there, we always are very aware of those that we we're that are missing either because they just can't get to the event, or are missing because they're no longer sadly with us. And we do, it's always, the world is always one of those that you do kind of remember the good times gone by. And I say, I'm sure we'll see Carl at a future event, that's for sure.
No, absolutely right. Carrie goes on to say, it's very well explained on the website. Thank you for all the information there. Very thorough. And it is. One word that could describe the GOAT, Tom Brady: thorough. Very thorough. Yes.
Yeah, we should. Maybe that's it. Greatest of all thorough. Maybe that's what we should call him. Yeah.
Thorough. I like it. Steve says, I have a DTD membership card, but haven't been for over 10 plus years. It sounds like that might be a collectible DTD membership card, Leigh. Last time, TK was the tournament director for Poker Night Live viewers. Right. Will I need to re-register again?
If what so, I will say for you, 100%, you will, but it's not going to be re-registering necessarily like you did had to do previously. However, I know for a fact they changed the system a number of years ago, and that required a little bit of a kind of refresh of ID. So you will need photo ID with you. As long as you've got photo ID with you, they'll normally take a quick scan of that, so they've got that on their records. Then they may decide to give you a fresh player card. But I've got my membership card from Dust to Dawn from back when it first opened. I think pretty much I've still got the same card, and it still works. Whenever I rock up there, but they will certainly ask to update their records with photo ID. Yep. So to be honest, this day and age, you're always better off just having a bit of photo ID with you wherever you go. Really.
Leigh, I don't carry any membership cards. In fact, I don't join these establishments any longer. I just rock up. I say to Sinclair, "Hello, my man," and he walks me in. It's as simple as that.
Do you throw him the keys to the car and just say, leave it somewhere, park it somewhere close? Yeah.
My car doesn't have any DTD in the registration number, so he wouldn't touch it. Not with a barge pole, Leigh. Wouldn't touch my car.
See, what I do, I'm normally first there, you see, so I always get a good parking spot. That's the way I try and work this thing, yeah. So,
just on that,
although the amount of gear I've got in the car,
Leigh.
Maybe I should leave it a little bit later, and I can just time it. I can get somebody to carry it all in for me.
It's just all coming together, Leigh. What an absolute nightmare. Yeah. Do you remember last night when I said we should do this about 4 times a year, the WCOAP?
Yeah.
No.
I've packed half my home office is in the car at the moment. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
Are you bringing the books? Just for a backdrop.
Well, I'm thinking. I reckon I could get some of this stuff. I hope Paul doesn't mind, but we'll have a thumb through. There's CDs and everything here.
CDs,
honestly,
what the hell are they?
There's all sorts of music. Yeah, honestly, there's all sorts of stuff. We'll work through we'll check through his music collection in a little while and see.
Well, if we get a boring bubble, we'll go through Paul's stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I know what brilliant. You were going to ask. You were going to ask what time does Dust Till Dawn open, weren't you?
Tomorrow,
and then you went off on another tangent, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So basically, it should be an hour. Yeah, it'll be an hour before the first tournament of the day. So pretty much, tomorrow, the first tournament of the day is the team event actually. So for those of you that don't know, there is a team event going on tomorrow. That starts at 4:00. So Dust Till Dawn should be open from 3:00. It might vary a little bit occasionally. They might be a little bit later on start depending on what's going on, but pretty much expect it to be an hour before the first tournament. But ultimately, if you're already registered up and you've bought in with Luxon and you're all kind of good, you can rock up and sit in the bar and have a chat. I mean, you can chat to Tom Brady. Oh, Tom loves nothing more than sitting chatting to players an hour before the tournament start. Because he's basically twiddling his thumbs. So to be honest, if you want to just keep Tom company, he'd love that. And if you've got any bad beats from the day before, that's the time to have a chat. He loves that.
I'll tell you what, Leigh,
he'll analyze it for you properly. He's really good.
Outside of the 1 hour before the tournament starts, the other time that he really, really likes discourse is when he's eating. Right, come and grab him when he's got a plate of something, probably something healthy because he's really doing great stuff there. Come and grab him when he's eating. He finds that engagement just so much easier to help him with the chewing.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, he really, you'd be helping him get through the 6 days. So honestly, if everyone could do their bit. That would be greatly appreciated. It really will.
Joking aside, Leigh, Dan says, sadly, DJ Khalid cancelled on me until September. Blimey. Moving house, so we'll be there Sunday and Monday to make sure the stream is
that's what I thought.
working.
Love that's what I thought. I
Love
kind of picked up on the vibe earlier on today. So that's awesome. Great to see Dan.
One Paul Haycock, you might have heard of him, Lee, says those are the clever books, so very much not mine. Oh, bless him. Bless him.
Okay.
I like that.
Fair enough.
Modest man.
Be Sarah then. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. To be
Wazza said, cheers, guys. Just reminded me I hadn't packed the membership card. Honestly, least of our problems tonight, the membership card, guys. Seriously.
To be honest, I these days, I always say, the photo ID is more important than the membership card, because if you've got the photo ID, wherever you go, any of our, normally they can then find you on the system, and you can say this is me, and they go, yeah, that's fine, and they'll let you in. The issue is always the one, is if you've not got that. So I always say pack that, and it's never a problem then. But maybe that's from playing. You play. That's the way it is in the States, isn't it? You're going to play in Vegas, and you pretty much always have photo ID on you, because you can't go anywhere or do anything in America without proving who you are. So
agree. Absolument.
Just watching a hand here. Triplin is all in with Queen 6 against Bulldozer D, and Bulldozer D turned the straight. I think Bulldozer D is Dean Pearson.
Oh, I remember Dean. Great player. Played a lot with us in the early days.
Sure, yeah.
And a lot online as well. With Eat My Stack was his team.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check that's right, but I am pretty certain.
I would imagine Bulldozer D is Dean.
Yeah. Only just recently registered up on top 10. And yes, it is. Yeah, so Dean Pearson at the top of your screen.
Good lad, Dean.
So only got five bigs, so a little up, and Triplin's all in with pocket fives now against Poker Villain, who we saw last night, Ace Jack. Triplin's going to need to avoid an ace and a jack. Looking okay here at the moment.
Oh, wow.
What do we say?
Unlucky, Tris.
Unfortunately, one of our previous world champs. Let's not forget, Tristan picked up one of the world championships when we held the event in London. I'm trying to think of the year. What do you want to say? Where do you want to go for?
I want to go for 2014.
15? Yeah, 14 or 15?
14, 15?
Yeah, something like that.
In that space.
Something around those.
In that space.
That's around that. So unlucky Tris, but I know we will see Tris at Dusseldorf later on in the week. That's for sure. How do we do with the chat? Do we get through the questions, or are we still?
I think we've got through pretty much everything. We'll do a couple more, but a bit of bad news. This is from Eddie, but I don't think it's from Eddie. It goes, "Oh bummer, I busted. No spicy pasta for you, Mr. Wilshire." Maybe it's from Jen. Is Jen in the chat box using somebody else's account?
What, you think Jen has hacked into Eddie's Facebook account?
No spicy pasta for you, Mr. Wilshire. No, I think you've genuinely lost out some pasta.
Di's got serious because she's calling me Mr. Wilshire now. So it's all got very serious since we met in Coventry. Crikey, that's fine. Oh well, I will quite happily, I'll quite happily buy a spicy chicken pasta in Nottingham, because I know Di's going to be up there later on in the week. I think she did say yesterday she was playing the Crazy Pineapple, and I think she was playing the Turbo. Definitely, she mentioned. So there's a few events that she was going to be playing. So
Lee,
good to see her in Nottingham.
Pasta aside, serious topic, of course, but do you have any idea how many people have pre-regged through a Luxon or a TTD? 80 would like to know.
A lot. Basically, yeah. There's a lot already registered, but we don't, because we've got sort of soft caps, flexible caps going on, so we're not massively that worried about it at the moment at all. But yeah, already I know lots of people have been buying in with Luxon and getting themselves organised for the events, and obviously there's going to be a lot of them buying in on the day and walking in, and DTD regulars that will turn up and play events as well. So
Lee Carey goes on to say, Eat My Stack was the first forum I found in the UK for poker, and that's where I met the lovely Dan Houston. Oh no, it's Vince Ely actually is what she said. Eat My Stack was a great little forum. Sad to see that go. Ian Munro, who we remember from the final table in Blackpool, right? And we also met Ian at DTD, I think, in the next tournament. Great show, guys. Do you think the main could hit 100K? £100,000, Lee. Amazing structure. well run, and we'll see you at DTD Leigh on Saturday. Could we?
Yeah,
We
cool.
hope to, Leigh, don't we? We'd like to.
It's a big number, because to do it, we'd need to do sort of 660 odd runners. But yeah, it's kind of it's doable. I mean, we're already ahead of kind of where I was kind of predicting where I thought we would be numbers wise. So we're up on that already. I think Friday and Saturday could be pretty busy at Dustle Dawn, and you just never know how many will jump into the Saturday night kind of turbo in the evening as well. So it's going to be fascinating to see. We've got a few new things that we've kind of brought into the mix. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see. Really pleased with the 59 that turned up on Sunday. Came off the back of the DTD 50 and those that were playing that and play at Dusk Till Dawn. So they've got an opportunity, to have a shot and also to be aware of what's coming for the next week as well. So amazing, great numbers on GG. I know, talking to the guys at GG today,
fantastic,
super happy with the numbers over the 2 nights, 89 last night, 79 tonight. So we've already rocked up with 220 odd runners already before we've even effectively got to Dusk Till Dawn for kind of effectively the main event, so to speak, of the 6 days. So it'll be interesting to see, just watching Ace Jack play Ace Jack there. So that's going to get chopped up.
Hold. Leigh, a bit of tongue in cheek here, from young Adam. I want to say Sizzlerski. I probably murdered it a bit, Adam, but I should know now.
Beautifully murdered that. Yeah.
I've tried, Adam. I should know this. Dad, I know, of course, super well. Adam, great little player too. And Adam goes on to ask, is this year going to be the first time that a father-son duo will have ever won gold in the team event? Now, it's a great question. The lads are repping Poland, right? And, of course, Poland won our Euros back in, crikey, Leigh, I want to say 2009.
Feels about right, 8 or 9.
It was an amazing event, right? They beat France heads up in a playoff, and Ian Sizzler. Help me out here, come on, Leigh, you're an intelligent man. Ian
Zalowski.
Oh, we're both screwing it. We're both doing a terrible job.
I'm not screwing
Adam
it. I don't think
you're doing a really bad job. Adam will tell you are, but he'll forgive us. But I'm not sure that it is, Leigh. Did Rudders and Rudders Jr., did they win a team gold at WCOAP?
Oh, that's a very good point. They certainly represented Wales in the same team. I'm not sure whether they did actually though win together.
They might have won they might have won either a UK team or a European team, quite possibly.
Like that. Yeah. But I'm not sure whether they have with
could
the
could
World.
be Adam.
Have to go properly go back and check through our records as whether that's the case or not. Yeah.
It's a good question. I hacked Eddie, says Ducati Die. So Die is indeed.
It's not really hacking when you're kind of you're there together. It's kind of like
it's definitely hacking.
All good. Yeah.
Definitely hacking. Yeah. Kerry says maybe it will be the first time a team with a brother and sister win, and a team with 3 women.
Yeah, I'm not
not sure.
I'm massively disappointed. I genuinely so disappointed, Des. I don't know how to explain my disappointment at the US team. So Jen Mason is the captain of the just watching play Ace Jack here. Dean's got the Ace Jack, and well, that's going to be good for Dean. He's going to get a double up through Jacob GGGG. So Jen Mason's, and she had to have a little bit of a change around. She said another team that's had a few dropouts, and she's had to find some replacements. And Carey's playing for them now as well. And then she needed to find a second replacement, and so I saw appear on the player list alongside Jen Mason, Ben Mason.
God, yeah, Leigh.
And I thought,
are the Masons in the team event?
And I thought, well, now how great would this be if Jen walked into Dusk Till Dawn and went, I'm here for the team event, great. And where's your? Oh yeah, the 4th player will be here in a minute. And then Jen disappears off. Then she comes back with a fake moustache on, going, "Hi, I'm Ben Mason. I'm here to play." But but apparently they are genuinely two people. They're brother and sister. So
why am I picturing that scene from? Was it The Life of Brian, when the men were stoning the other man, but they were all women. And go,
so
like it.
yes, apparently Jen and Ben's parents were very creative with the names, and apparently both did have extended first names, and both chose to shorten them. So it is Jen and Ben Mason, so brother and sister. So that'd be really cool. So yeah, looking forward to catching up with Jen. She's only up for the team event. She's otherwise committed for other stuff, work and poker wise. But she's up and looking forward to captaining USA, and they've got a good team.
They have a good team. They have a very I don't know, but they've got a very experienced, knowledgeable team. But this event,
Deb's in there as well, so it's going to be it'll be a good team.
This event, though, has a habit of just creating surprises.
Yeah,
creating
exactly.
surprises.
It's going to be, it will be super exciting how it'll play out. And and if you're playing at Dust of Dawn in the next couple of days, and say you're not involved in the team event, you'll hear about it because there'll be the rowdy ones at the front, all in the coloured shirts, getting quite worked up as to whether their team's doing well or not. So
the captain says, "Remember, Joe Stapleton played for the Team USA once. He did indeed, Lee. He did indeed. But I heard a rumor that he wasn't man enough to play a second time because he was part of the team, right? That were to rock up tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
Joe
he bailed.
I met up with Joe. I say met up as if like we were arranged. He happened to be at the WSOP in the ballroom at Paris. I think Paul and I were walking past him. Oh, it's Joe. So we stopped and said hello and kind of explained who we were, because obviously Joe wouldn't have a clue who we were. And was
speak for yourself, Lee.
Yeah, I was kind of excited about the WCOAP, and once we'd explained to him what it was, and no one was he was going to be there, and obviously commitments have changed for him, so he could no longer make it, but all's good, because it means we now have Kerry on the team, and we have Ben as well. So Jen's got a good team there, so all good. Another all in here. Leigh Ace 1-2-3 with Ace Queen is at risk against the Jacks. Jacob GGGG. And unless there's going to be any sort of queen on the river,
that's the right color.
Which it isn't.
Wrong card.
And we're going to lose Leigh Ace 1-2-3, unfortunately, and that's going to put us down to 22 players nowadays. So basically, 21. Another exit quickly on another table as well. So, so basically, half the field now are going to be bagging up chips. The other half are going to be having another go. At Dust Till Dawn later on in the week. So if you do want to play another day one, should just clarify. So there's a normal day one, kind of as you would normally expect a day one at Dust Till Dawn on Friday. Then you've also got another opportunity on Saturday afternoon, so Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, and then there's a turbo on the Saturday evening. They're all the 150 plus 30, so 180 pound buy-in if you want to buy in for those. The reason those two at the top are 150 because they're the two online ones that we played last night and tonight, and it's reg free with GG. So that's what it's all about. So GGPoker, part of our partnership with them, basically we say they've added the value by basically taking away the reg fee. So if you played online, an online day one with GG, you say you've got in on the cheap. And I know some people have got in even cheaper than that. So last night, we didn't talk about it last night. Again, another player that we mentioned him, but he kind of went under the radar a little bit. Our very own Tony G, who made it through last night. Now he won his ticket last night from the True Geordie free roll.
Did he really? Did he really? Wow, that's fantastic.
So he got through about 1,500 players in the True Geordie free roll from a couple of weeks ago, where we added 9 seats to the final table. So he picked up one of those, turned it into a day 2 stack last night. He also won one on the satellite as well. So he's now got himself 150 quid worth of credit at Dust Till Dawn for later on in the week as well. So I mean, Tony's having a blinding week already. He's not even got to Dust Till Dawn yet. He's not even there yet.
And best of all,
already having a great week.
Best of all, he escaped a long trip up to Nottingham with me, where I would be repeating a lot of the stories that I tell here every Sunday night normally. Right? Lucky lad. Aces out there says, evening all, just had a cracking couple of hours catching up with the legend that is Charlie Kearns before we battle tomorrow. Charlie is a lovely bloke, as is Asa. So I can imagine that was a couple of hours well spent for both. Evening all says Joe, the lovely Joe, who potentially, Lee, might be the third best player in her house at the end of next week. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it's possible, right?
Yeah, chip leaders all in here. A lot of risk, obviously, but is running to the kings of Bengladen. So Bengladen's going to get a double up unless there's a 4 or a 5 on the river.
Right colour.
And there's not going to be that. So our chip leaders, Sumi. Sumi's going to give a double up to Bengladen. So puts Bengladen up to about 38 bigs there. So it wasn't a small stack they started there with. Kings ran into 5s.
Ah, the lovely Joe says, I'd take third at this point. It'll all be different when she's got a few. Whatever it is she drinks down her. She won't accept third at that point.
I'm probably the third best player in our house, and there's only Jen and the 2 dogs. So, really, making that what you will.
Which of the dogs are you beating, Lee?
Yeah, well, Jess turned 11 today, so she's getting on a bit. She's got
to tell
as with it as she used to be. Yeah, so
she pees ever so slightly when she gets a strong hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Kerry says my youngest, who turns 18 on the 8th of September, may be doing his first APAD soon. If we could make Cardiff. Will you be having satellites to that? I'm sure we will be having satellites. And we'd love to meet your son, Kerry. That would be awesome. Oh, Tony G is out there, Lee. He says, thanks for the shout out. Running good at the moment. Made the money in the main for free and avoided the dodgy car chat from Des. Yes, you did, sir.
Yeah.
That was indeed a close call.
Ace Jack versus Pocket 8s there. And JTism gets a double up through Poker Villain.
Dear, oh dear. You're currently the 4th best player in this house, according to Paul Haycock.
How am I getting abused? But just to be aware, there's Paul and his two boys in this house at the moment. So yeah, I'm getting absolute hassle. And poor Ben's got a bit of a cold he's picked up, so he's not feeling great. And Arlo's busy playing the Lego movie game on PlayStation. I'm still the 4th best player in this house. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it, really?
I bet those boys are playing Lego games for money. I mean, Paul Haycock probably has his sons playing Lego for money. Mr. Penguin is there. Mark Lassman, my favourite gentleman from south of the equator, says boom. Good to see you, Mark. Hopefully. We'll see you over the next couple of days if you can make it to Nottingham.
Double up there for Herbatonics 88. Ace Jack held against Pillow Princess, who was on a up and down straight draw there and missed. Pillow Princess had about 40, more than that actually, 50 bigs going into that. So Herbatonics was down to 10. So kind of worth the call with the drawing hand there, but missed, unfortunately. We're down to 21 still, so 10 more exits and we'll be bagging up chips for the night.
Fantastic.
So to speak.
Lee, the Republican debate in the States, the first Republican debate tomorrow night. I guess that'll be at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something like that. We've got hello. There's chips in the middle here, Lee.
We're pulling politics into Bengladen's all in with Ace Queen against Ace King of Pillow Princess. It's looking like that's going to be done by King would chop it.
Not to be, Lee. Not
going to be. And Bengladen is going to bust. Who had a decent stack actually. Only Pillow Princess only had about 3 bigs more than Bengladen. Yeah. So that's a huge pot. It's like 75 bigs in the middle there. That's probably going to put Pillow Princess as our chip leader now. I think it does. Yeah. So Pillow Princess is getting close to breaking the million mark. So 923,000 now. Sumi, who's also on that table. So the chips are all on this table here. Has got 912,000. So 2 of the biggest stacks there. And actually Frankie the Pug, who was playing last night as well, is 5th at the moment of the 21 remaining. Frankie the Pug's got over 500,000. All in the call on one of the other tables. Giovanni D4 has got pocket 10s against the 8 Jacker Bulldozer. Bulldozer's hit his jack.
Got to be a 10.
Dean's hit his jack. for a double up, needs to avoid a 10 and does, and is going to get a full double up there up to 25 bigs through Giovanni D4. So Dean is on the way up. But yeah, all the chips very much over. Say first and second now in chips. Pillow Princess just open shoving into the
I love
blinds
it.
here.
I love it.
75 bigs going, all right, well, if either of you want to call me, you're more than welcome, and gets that one through.
Do we know who
But
Pillow
yeah, but
Princess is,
Sumi and
Lee?
Pillow Princess don't know who either of those are. I don't think. Let me just double check. I've not got them on my. Oh no, I have got actually. So Pillow Princess is Ricky Fawcett. So yeah, Pillow Princess is Ricky Fawcett, and let me just check with the Sumas on my list. No, don't know who Suma is, or Sumi, should I say? So no, don't know who she is, but Pillow Princess, yeah, Ricky Fawcett.
Nice. Love to see an artist at work, Lee. And if
moving
he's
on,
shoving,
it's just got another one. So it's catcher with the pocket nines against Four Finger Mike with the tens. And the tens are going to be good, and Four Finger Mike is going to get a double up. Four Finger Mike was on Paul's table earlier on and actually built a reasonable stack early on in this tournament. Gets a double up there now and is back on 28 bigs. But it says all action. Count Stacula is third in chips. So there's Count Stacula, top right at the moment, just raised up. Currently third with 57 bigs at the moment. Again, I think Count Stacula might have played last night as well, Des, if I remember rightly. But again, I don't know who that is. So unfortunately, but it could well be a regular because I say, like Rob Swindell's last night was playing under a completely different screen name to the one you would normally expect Rob to be playing under. So yeah, some people that maybe are new to GG that have signed up with APAT and not playing under their usual screen, and we've known them for the last decade or so. So we're learning as we go with some of these.
Trish says, is Sumi Seth Weber?
I've no idea. It might be. Meanwhile, back just quickly, Pillow Princess, which is Ricky Fawcett, pocket sevens against Herbatonics, ace queen, ace on the flop, and avoids the 7 on the river. And so Herbatonics gets a double up again through Pillow Princess, which was it was about 20-25 bigs was Herbatonics' starting stack there.
Chunky so double. Quietly.
There is some pretty chunky plays being made here at this moment in time, because we're now down to 20, so we're getting to the point where players are trying to win the stack. 50 bigs at the moment is 600,000. So so that magic number we talked about earlier on, the 666, which is the average stack going into a day two, there or thereabouts. There's a number of these players now that kind of are around that level. And you're kind of making that decision. Are you going to push like Steve did last night? Got some cards and managed to just rattle that stack up to a crazy amount. Deciding what's good. Are you happy to sit there and play that? Because actually, if you've got 600, 700,000 now, you could probably not play another hand, and you're going to get a stack that's going to get you through to day two at this point. Depends what you want to do, isn't it? What type of player are you, Des? What are you wanting to do?
Well, there's no, and this is the beautiful thing about this game, Lee. It's not, it's just not a science, right? So Pillow Princess, I said a minute ago, fantastic to see that aggression. You're getting down to the business end of this tournament. But he's gone from 75 odd big blinds down to sort of he was at 50 a few minutes ago. So there isn't an absolute formula as to how to get the big stack. One thing's for certain: you need to time your hands. You need them to hold up. You need that stuff to work out for you. It did for Stephen last night, big style. He had some wonderful cards, found himself great positions, and his hands held. That isn't guaranteed, unfortunately.
No, absolutely not. Back on one of the other tables. Well, we've actually only got 3 tables left open, so I've got them all on screen now. And wow, for Four Finger Mike, it's aces. They played it all the way down the streets there, and Bleach 2277 at the Jack 10, which had made the full house, and gets paid off very nicely through Four Finger Mike there, who. That's the sort of board when you've got aces. Just to be honest, you're not wanting to make the call there, are you really? Because you're thinking you're probably going to be in a whole heap of pain, and yeah, that was very much the case. But that wasn't all in. But that played down the streets. So still still plenty of poker to be playing here. Average stack is nearly 400,000, which is 33 bigs at the moment. So we're pretty much playing on track with this particular day. Yesterday did play a little bit quicker because the average stack was sort of getting down to sort of 25 bigs at one point. But this at the moment, as we're at 15, we'd expect this to go to about level 18. That's normally where we would expect this to go. It's where it went to last night. So we've got about actually we've just gone into level 16. So I reckon we've probably got about another 25-30 minutes of this, and with a break included as well, and we'll be at the conclusion.
Leigh, I have to tell you, an hour and a half ago, I was like slightly perturbed charging up my phone and my battery charger for tomorrow and stuff like that. But we've just got Stefan, in the chat saying, "Hello there, good luck. See you all tomorrow. We're charging the Tesla." He's charging up the car. Get him as far as Derby, Leigh. That's the plan. Get as far as Derby and just try and find something.
I'm assuming he's coming from the Netherlands. I mean, it's a fair few times you have to charge it to get all the way through, isn't it?
Does it? I mean, does it lose charge in the water? Is it like a Bond car? Does it go under? Maybe it goes in the channel, Leigh.
Unless they're already over and they hired a car for the job, who knows? I mean, let us know, Stefan.
It's very extravagant, Leigh. It's very extravagant.
Yeah, but if it does need charging when you get to dusk till dawn, Des has show him that little battery pack thing you've got ready to go. You can use one of that'll charge a Tesla, right? Won't it?
You get about 120 of these, Leigh. That'll give you an hour.
Yeah.
Which can get you from Derby to Nottingham, right? 120 of these.
Yeah. Won't be a problem at all. That'll be fine, and at a reasonable rate as well. I mean, as I said yesterday, we'll get Tom out the back on the Peloton pedaling. We'll charge those things up, no bother at all. It will be fine.
Stefan wanted to know how many runners we got tonight, Leigh, and we had 79. So a great day one. Very pleased with that.
Yeah, really, really good. So 79, 11 are going to go through. I think it has the feeling that it's going to be a little bit more balanced, maybe perhaps than yesterday ended up. But hey, we were at this point last night, and it kind of went a little bit crazy. At the moment, our chip leader is Sumi, who's the only player with just over 1 million chips at the moment. Sumi's currently in a hand here at the moment with Pillow Princess, first and second in chips. Des, they've got about 9 bigs in the middle here at the moment on this board, so it doesn't look like they're going to go crazy now. They're going to check this down by the looks of it. So Sumi's currently our chip leader with just over 1 million. Pillow Princess second with 720,000. Then Count Stacula has 680,000. Jacob GGGG has 590. And the 4 plays for Sumi. So chips go to the chip leader there. And then Herbertonica. Herbertonica is playing from Jersey. So we've seen about 3 or 4 different players from Jersey or Guernsey have been playing in the last couple of days.
So it sounds like we're taking over the island, Leigh.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Maybe we should do an island tour. What do you think?
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, sounds good. Meanwhile, all in the call here on this table, I've got open 10-9 and against King 6 of who is it? 8-9 Birchie. He's got the King 6 who's at risk here, and unfortunately is gonna bust. Only had about sort of 8 bigs, and it was blind on blind, really. So I didn't see quite how the action played, but I'm guessing Pillar Princess will have raised in a small blind and got shoved on and decided to make the call. So Pillar Princess, second in chips, has now got 50 bigs, but that equates to nearly 800,000 in chips. So it's more than an average stack at the moment, Des, and we're down to 19 runners. So we need to lose 8 more, and we'll be done for the night, and that'll be us done for online.
Fantastic. Absolutely loving it. Carrie says, I have one of those that charges 3 phones. Lee's got one of those as well. It's called Me. Mark says he's just doubled with aces.
Pillow Princess, Queen 10, got it all in against the Ace King of Norbert von Winkle. And has hit. Needs to avoid a 10 or an 8 and does.
Woozer.
And that's another 10 big blinds heading Pillow Princess's way. Nice. So yeah, it's all going well at the moment for Ricky Fawcett, up to nearly 1 million now, 975,000. So heading in the right direction. I've got Stefan's now sending me pictures of him watching the APAC show from the Tesla.
Oh, send it over to me, Lee. Pop it in something and I'll put it up on the screen. Go on for a laugh. What's the worst that going to happen, right?
How's he got that up on this? That's awesome. He's got that up on the screen. That's quite impressive. Right, let me see how I can quickly get that across to you. Bear with me a second.
0-0. On the old
do.
WhatsApp, I think would work.
Yeah, can you? If I WhatsApp to you, is that the best way to go?
Look, the worst that'll happen is the stream will close, right?
Not for the first time. We've crashed the stream.
It's happened before, Lee. We're better at it now. We're much better now.
I'm trying to get an image up on screen. Yeah, it's not the first time we've managed to crash the internet trying to do something. Which we think should be technically simple. Yeah,
I'm looking at the image, Lee, but I have to say we're taking his word as to where the hell he's watching it from.
He could be anywhere.
There's a little hazard light potentially on view there, but outside of that,
I've got to. Why would somebody say they're watching the show from the Tesla that they're charging if they weren't? Yeah, it's you've got to assume that he probably is. What we need a shot of you outside the car, Stefan. So we give us a proper, give us a proper photo.
Take the picture from the back seat. Yeah. Get some lights on. It's a car, for Christ's sake. Granted, there's no battery, right? He's
charging it. Yeah, he's charging it.
So Mark Glassman has doubled. Good news for Mark. Do we know what Mark is? Oh, he's the Penguin. Right? He is the Penguin. He's in there somewhere as Penguin something, right? He's got to be. Mark Glassman.
I'm not sure whether he is. I'm not sure whether Mark is
on
my list.
Tell us what your username is, Mark. Mr. Brooks says, have last week's tournament dollars been credited yet, Lee? In a very sort of functional type question, right in the middle of a very dramatic moment.
Who's asking that? Warren.
That's Warren Brooks.
So I had a message from GG today saying they've been busy doing some other things and they were going to get it done by the end of play today, is what I got told. And I got told that about 3:00 this afternoon. So hopefully they were in today. If they're not, expect them tomorrow night. I mean, what I would say is they've been absolutely brilliant throughout this run of top tens, which is taking a break from next week just for a couple of weeks as players, funnily enough, are going on a break as
we just lost Four Finger Mike there, Lee.
Yeah, so we are down to 16 now. So we've lost a couple of players. So yeah, just quickly on that. So top 10 will take a break for a couple of weeks, and what was I going to say? But they've been brilliant at getting all the money. Now we have made it clear that we do say we'll get your T dollars in within, I think we say sort of 72 hours or something like that. And they've been pretty much within 24 hours on a Monday. They've been in on a Monday morning most weeks. So bear with them. But they've got quite a bit going on this week. And so we're there. I might have a better photo for you, Des. Hang on. And Andreas is there as well. So yeah. Well,
listen, Mark is J-tism. All right. So that's him on screen as we speak. Tris says, fairly sure that Sumi is Seth, a very cool South African guy. Looks a bit like Zoolander, no less. I'm sure the ladies will love him. Do we want to bring a guy to DTD Lee who the ladies will love? I'm not sure that we do. Make the rest of us look bad.
Offended.
Don't want to do that. Do not want to do that.
They normally all want their photos with Tom, and we don't want to kind of upset him, do we? So oh no, I did. Funny enough, I did have Mark on the list. So yeah, so J tease him.
Just Jism. You just shorten that to Jism, Lee. It'll be fine. That'll stick.
We can get away with that, can we? So let's just give you a quick update where we're. Oh, very good. We'll give you an update where we're at. So you did say we did lose a few. So we lost Norbert von Winkle. We lost Giovanni D4. We lost Four Finger Mike, unfortunately, in 17th. So we are down to 16. So we've got 5 more to go. So let me give you a rundown of who's what as the players are on a break for another. Well, we said we were going to play the video. I'll tell you what. Do you want to play the video?
Yeah, I'll play the video, Lee.
Then I'll give you an update when we're back. That'll take about a minute. So.
Right. Remembering the world champions, guys. Here's your wee video. Lee, I absolutely love what you did with that. It's like the director's cut.
Yeah.
Really like that. Really like
It's
that.
like, we had a video, so this is how I really wanted it to look. So this is it. So where we're at. So
buzzing.
So that's all good. Yeah. So obviously some great winners in the past. And we're going to see who's going to write their name in history this weekend, and is going to be WCOAP main event champion for 2023. Cannot wait for that. So it could be one of these guys. With 16 players left, we've got 11 that are going to be bagging up chips at the end of the day. Sumi is currently chip leader with 1.4 million. Pillow Princess second with 960,000. Count Stacula third with 750,000. Herbert Tonica 88 has got 537,000. Jacob GGG 522,000. Then we've got Bleach 2277 with 477,000. Then Mark is there. Mark Louthman has got 460,000. Major Donkoff's got 402,000. Poker Villain, who got close yesterday, was there right to the kind of death yesterday, has got 382,000. Jimix 89 has 374,000. Frankie the Pug still going, 365,000. True Babatega, who is Eddie. Eddie's there with 356,000. Bulldozer D, which is Dean Pearson, has got 351,000. Then Casing. Now, Casing, I recognize the name, but I can't for the life of me remember who Casing is. Des, but do you remember Casing from APATs of past? Can't think of it. Somebody in the chat will let me know who Casing is.
No. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody will be able to know that. Catcher's got 174,000 and Cryptoplankton 130,000. So they are the 16 remaining. 2 tables left, and we'll see who's going to hang on and who's going to build their stack. Where do we think the chip leader is going to end up now? Chip leader currently has got 1.4 million. Where do we think the chip leader is going to be in approximately, I reckon, 20 minutes time? Maybe 30 at the most, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we are at the business end now, Lee. 16 left, of course. So we're 5 from D-Day. This will happen. I think this will happen pretty quickly, to be perfectly honest.
To answer Simon's question, I don't know who Frankie the Pug is. I don't know who that is. Meanwhile, Ray's from Count Stacula sees Eddie, True Babatega, shoves his 23 bigs in, but gets that through. So we'll be flicking between these 2 tables. We're down to 2 tables now, 2 of 8. So I'll be jumping between the 2 whenever there's a hand worth calling.
Fantastic. And Lee, you're going to love this. It's the boys in the Tesla.
Hey!
It is the boys in the Tesla traveling wherever they are at the moment, watching the Bloomin' APAT show. Oh, setting new standards for exotic Dutch behavior. I love it.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Absolutely. I could have done this show from my Mini. Why didn't I think of that? I could have just sat in my Mini and just. I mean, Paul's given me this whole room with clever books and stuff and all this kind of. I could have just parked up somewhere. And where are the guys then? Are they in Nottingham yet, or they must? I
think I saw a mention of the M11 somewhere, but it's hard to know. It's hard to piece it all together, Lee.
Yeah. So I'm assuming yes, they've obviously stopped off to charge, and then are probably on their way traveling up. So.
In honor of the boys, we are going to leave the image on the screen for the rest of the night. It might not be too much longer. But we wish you well on your journey, chaps, and to all of the teams, and indeed all of the players who are heading to the WCOAP tomorrow. We wish you well on your journey, and we look forward to meeting you all. And please do make sure you come and say hello. I mean, we probably won't talk to you because we'll be pretending to be busy, Lee, right?
I'll be in spicy
chicken
pasta
busy,
for anyone else.
Too busy. Spicy pasta, too busy. No, we've lost Lee. Just like that, he's too busy. He's too busy. Too busy at the moment. So don't worry, folks. He'll be back with us in a minute. There he is. Did you come across some of Paul's infamous Wi-Fi issues?
No, nothing in the slightest. That was Andreas trying to call me.
Get him on the show. Get them on the show from the car, Lee. We can do that too.
Which doesn't obviously work for me on the way when I'm
He could call me, Lee. How could we do this? He could.
Well,
They
no,
could
no,
just
I
send him
could
the
ping him.
link.
I could ping him the link.
Mm. Is he
Let me
driving?
see
Is
if
that car a right-hand drive or a left-hand drive?
I have no idea. Let me see if shall I see if I can ping him the link?
Well, to be honest, Lee, we won't do it because they're potentially driving. It's unlikely they're all, although if they're probably charging the car at some services or something.
Yeah.
But no, we're on the business end of this tourney. I think we've said that. It would be a fun distraction, I've no doubt, but we might very well lose the main result.
Whilst that was going on, we've got some action going on here because Casing is all in with 11 bigs, and it's got Sumi in the big blind, but Jimex 89 got a decision to make first. Meanwhile, we lost Crypto Plankton, so we're down to 15 now, so only 4 to go. Is Casing's 11 big shove going to get through Sumi, our chip leader? No, it's not. It's going to get called. It's Ace King for Casing, Ace 10 for Sumi. Needs to avoid a 10.
You know it's coming, Lee.
Just needs to avoid that 10, and Casing's going to get a double up. It's looking good because it's green. So green is good when the green 10 is already out. Yeah.
Lee, Casing, let me take a wild stab at this. Do you know who Casing? No, you don't. This is the one you asked me about. It's not Dave Potter, is it? Dave Potter?
It's
Southwest?
I know the name from, I know
is
the
it
name.
Dave Potter?
100%. And I'm going to try and do some sort of Google thing on it here and see if I can work out who it is.
If I do that on my Yahoo, it'll probably tell me.
I'm going to guess if I do Casing APAT, I'm going to get something up here. Plymouth Poker Club. So Dave Potter it is. Yeah. Spot on, Des. Very good. Good knowledge. Good knowledge. It's amazing. So you do Casing APAT into Google, and the first thing you get is welcome to Plymouth Poker Club, Dave Potter, APAT Forum, Casing. I mean, that's how good it is.
And you know what? I haven't seen Dave at an APAT event, and of course he could well have been at them for, I'm going to say, about 10 years. So lovely to see him playing the online events, and it will be great to see Dave in Nottingham. Dave, if you are listening to us, come and say hello. It's been too long.
So he's nicely doubled up there. So he's got 24 bigs now. So he's in a little bit better shape than he was, which is just under average stack at the moment. So it's about 500,000 he's got at the moment. Well, yeah, we've already said 500,000 is plenty to be taken through to a day 2 if that's what you've got, a little bit under average stack. Not a problem at all. But this is going to change massively. We've got 4 more exits to go yet, so this is going to change for sure. So I love the Dutch guys in the Tesla heading up to Nottingham. That's superb. That's what we like to see, and it's great. It's nice to see everyone making plans. I know the Scottish guys were all travelling down, and so. Yeah, it's good to see everyone getting together and meeting up, and along the way, can't wait to see everybody in Nottingham.
Should be an absolute blast, blast.
So Casing shoved again, Pillow Princess. So Ricky's
that,
kind of going, what am I doing here? Yeah, what am I doing here?
Can't Stacula's getting involved as well, Lee. It's all happening. Wow.
And
Casing, Dave Potter shows the Kings.
Shows the Kings, yeah.
Phew. I'm guessing the Kings were ahead.
Yeah, this is all sort of tightening up a little bit here nowadays, isn't it? As to say what we're going to do. It doesn't feel like we're going to get anybody kind of getting close to yesterday's stacks, but that's not to say that the top few stacks here couldn't clash with 4 more exits to go.
Yeah,
but it would need the Sumi to be busting a few players. Meanwhile, all in a call on the other table, and Herbertonic's King 9 is going to bust the King Queen of Jacob GGGG, and with Herbertonics went into that with about 25 bigs. So has doubled up to just over 50 bigs now, leaving Jacob on just over just under 8 bigs. So Herbertonics is now second in chips.
was a hell of a big commitment with King 9, Lee.
Yeah,
Of course, we don't know how the action
don't know what.
played out. But...
jumped across to it as it had gone there. Meanwhile, back on the other table, an initial raise from Jimmix 89 here, raises up to 3 bigs, has been raised to 11 bigs by Bleach 2277. Back round to Jimmix 89. Has got 16 bigs behind, but pretty much if you're making the call here, you might as well just be shoving as well. So it's a decision. Do you want to get your chips in the middle here? Having a proper long think about this.
Are we wasting a bit of time here, Lee? Is that perhaps where we are?
No, I think it's soon, I think, I don't know. It's a wasting time thing. I think that very much was a decision to be made. I've got 15 bigs left here. What am I doing? Am I sticking them in and looking to, do it, or am I, what do I think? I've raised it up. I've had a re-raise from the person to my left. Yeah, decision to make. Don't mind the having a ponder about that. Difficult one really for Jimmix there. They're on sort of they've still got 300k. See, although we're looking at big blinds here, you've also got to put it into perspective. It's 300,000, so it's a decision you've got to. At the moment, they've got a stack that's sort of half the average stack going into a day two. It's a playable stack. It would be about 16 bigs if it ended now. What do you want to do? You've got this far through a day one. And it comes back to that thing of, as a player, what do you want to achieve in this one? So raise up from Bleach here that Sumi's made the call, and Bleach is certainly getting active here. Check raised the flop. Decision back on Sumi.
I was brave against Sumi with that stack. Takes the chips.
Yeah, but Sumi's stack is not actually that massive. It's 1.3 million, but actually Bleach is now playing 750,000. So and Sumi doesn't seem to be getting super aggressive as the chip leader. It seems to be playing, say, fairly conservative in with the large stack that they've got. We just lost one on another table whilst we were just watching that hand play out. So we lost Poker Villain on the other table, and Herbatonics took Poker Villain's chips and has gone to chip leader now with 1.5 million. On the other table, Herbatonics playing out of Jersey. So first player to get above the 1.5 million mark. And we need to lose 3 more players and we will be done for the night. So Steve 40 asks if Dean Pearson will be at if we can ask if Dean will be at DT. I'm not sure if Dean's watching the stream, but I'm guessing if Dean's playing these, he's got every intention of being up at Dusk Till Dawn sometime over the weekend.
Yeah.
I know Steve is only up there for the Saturday, making a bit of a flying visit for the day. Looking forward to meeting Steve. I don't think we may well have met in the very early APAP time, but I don't recall. So be good to see Steve's going to play a couple of the events on the Saturday, or well, hopefully just one, and run very deep in it, and we'll see what happens. So don't forget, if you've got any questions, about the Worlds or anything, now's the time to ask whilst we're watching this play out. Otherwise, we'll all be at Nottingham at Dusk Till Dawn from tomorrow, and for 6 days of solid poker. Say 23 bracelet events will be won over the 6 days of Dusk Till Dawn, and then 2 more bracelet events will take place a week Friday and a week Saturday on GGPoker, the last 2 events. And of course, don't forget, you can win Player of the Series prizes if you play. If you're playing a number of events, GG are adding a UKPC seat to the winner of the Player of the Series for the World Championship this year, and Dustin Dorner adding a DTD 100 seat for whoever finishes runner-up in that leaderboard as well. So we'll be adding points for the top 9 in all of the events, and we'll find an overall Player of the Series, which is always a nice one, which I know some players can get a little bit competitive with players wanting to take that one down. And we've had some nice winners from that, actually, that have gone on to win some big things. I mean, back
Paul
in the
Pitchford,
day,
perhaps
Paul
the most
Pitchford,
famous,
yeah, probably. I mean, won a seat to play in the WSOP, one of the WSOP Europe events, and went on for cash for, I want to say 40,000.
40,000 spondoolies. He said at a final table. I've got a video somewhere of Jack Effel sort of announcing the final table. It was at the Empire in London. And he gets to Paul, and he talks about APAT and stuff like that. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So what a great experience.
Mark is all in with aces up against Major Donkov. They pretty much had similar stacks, actually. They had about 16, maybe actually 18 bigs each, something like that. And Mark is going to win that. Major Donkov has now got one big blind left, and Mark is now up to 37 bigs.
Wow.
We're down to, say, 14.
Herbatonic showed a 9, Lee, with the turn and river both being 9s. Messy, messy.
Jimix 89 is pretty much as good as all in, raising up to 13 bigs. We know Major Donkov is going to be all in here. And it's pocket 8s against the 5-4. The 5-4's at risk.
2 live. Got low, though.
Got a gut shot here.
Got to be a 6.
And it's not going to be. So we're going to lose Major Donkov in 14th place. So we're two off the money now. 2 off the day 2.
Lee Steves asks, are we doing shows from DTD tomorrow? Indeed we are, sir. Lee and myself will be doing content through the week. Some of it live, some of it pre-recorded that we'll put up on Facebook. Just keep an eye on the group. There will be a ton of stuff coming out of DTD.
The plan is, I mean, we've got the ability to, obviously you guys know, you've seen what we do when we do the kind of our main event final days. We've got the ability, we're very mobile in what we do. We can get around the room, we can get around the tables. Obviously there's going to be multiple events going on across the 6 days. First 2 days, the team event. We tend to focus in on that because we have to manage all the scoring and make sure everything's up to date for the guys in the room. But that's not to say that we won't get content out for that as well. So yeah, we're going to try and give you guys as much of a vibe of what's going on from Nottingham as we possibly can, and try and catch as many of the winners as we possibly can, so you can follow the action. Impossible for us to kind of follow every single event and give you accurate what's going on all of them, just not possible. But the idea is we're going to get as much as we can from the room, and give you guys an idea of what's going on.
And if you ask for specifics, it's always a bit easier for us to deal with that, right? So Simon, for example, asks here, streaming the horse final table. Don't know, Lee, we might do the final 2 or 3 furlongs.
Yeah, why not? I think we could certainly do that, because mine and Des's expertise on these mixed games is second to none. It's what the people tune in for. There's nothing better than us spending 5 minutes discussing what actually game they're playing before then trying to actually talk about what's going on. There's a lot of card space up here, Des. There's a lot of card space up. I'm not sure what's happening, but there's a lot to remember here. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So we've got Catcher is all in. If assuming I've got the right table up, which I have. So Catcher is all in. So let's see this follow around under the gun for 6.4 bigs. Count Stacula is having a good old think about this. Got 26 bigs and is properly hitting their time bank hard here. Decision to make. Folds in the end. So True Babatega at the small blind. That's Eddie, who went close again last night. Eddie's made the call. What's casing? What's Dave Potter going to do from the big blind? Got 23.2 bigs behind. He gets up the way. So it's Catcher at risk with the ace 10 has run into the ace king of Eddie. Eddie hits a king as well, which means that's going to be good. Catcher's drawing dead, and Catcher's going to bust in 13th place. We are one off the money, Des. One off the day 2.
Lee, it is business time. We've got to bring that shirt out. Where is it? There we go.
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
Let's do it. Let's do
Well,
it.
you say business time. Jacob GG is all in pretty much. Well, has got less than a big blind behind.
Wow.
On this flop, I'm just assuming the chips have got to go in. He's going to be up against the chip leader, which is Herbatonics, 88. I don't know how the chips haven't gone in here. It's been checked. Herbatonics puts a bet in. Jacob GGG has
Isn't there anything left,
to
does he?
make the call, surely. Has got to make the call and
There we
does.
go.
It's
Can't
king,
like his
queen.
hand.
It's pocket jacks for Jacob GGG. How
whoa.
unfortunate is that? There's only one. Is a case
Jack.
jack. It's got to be. It could be.
Oh,
And it's not going to be. So there we are going to be. We are done, Des. As quick as that.
Wow.
We're into. We were literally 2 minutes into level 18. What I called it. I said we'd be into 18 and pretty much where we'll be done. That's it. 11 players remaining. Let me quickly rattle down for them what's going on here. Bear with me. It's a small screen, so I'm going to have to squint closely. So Herbatonics 88 has got 1.7 million. So way off yesterday's chip leader, but still 1.7 million is going to be second on the chips. So no fault with that. Very, very impressive indeed. Sumi, who was up there for a while around the million, just got over a million. 1,028,000. Very well done to them. Pillow Princess was Ricky Fawcett, 940,000. That's plenty to be taking into a day two. Bleach 2277, 857,000. No harm with that whatsoever. GTism, which is Mark Lasman, 736,000. That's above average stack for Mark Lasman into a day two. We know Mark's got form. He can do the business, that's for sure. True Babatega, Eddie has made it through to day
Well
two
done,
with
Eddie.
630,000, just under an average stack. But that's going to be plenty to play with. Count Stacula, well done to them, 517,000 there through. Casing, Dave Potter has made it through with
Nice
464,000. Well done to you. Dean Pearson has made it through. Bulldozer D with 408,000. Very well done to him. Jimmix 89 has made it through with 327,000. And Frankie the Pug is the 11th player, made it through 11 bigs, Des.
Oh, he's in good shape.
No
Good
real
shape,
shortage
Lee.
because remember that 11 bigs is at level 18. It will roll back one level. So actually, Frankie the Pug has got 280,000. So it's about 14 bigs.
Ah, good shape, Lee.
That's plenty. That's plenty for a day two. So all 11 of those will add into the 22 that have already qualified for day two on Sunday at dusk till dawn. So that's now 33 players we've got through to day two. Your next chance to be able to play the main event is going to be on Friday afternoon at dusk till dawn if you want to play that. That'll be on a 25-minute clock, full normal structure there. If you don't get through that one, you've got one more chance on the Saturday, then full structure and the turbo. So 3 more chances at dusk till dawn later on in the week. But yeah, what a cracking time we've had for 2 days online. Been brilliant.
It's been absolutely brilliant. Great atmosphere. It was lovely watching the games play out. Can't wait to do this live from tomorrow. John Heath was out there. Lee said, "Hi, that was me. I think that is Herbatronic. I think John is Herbatronic. If so, great job. Well done. Look forward to meeting you at DTD, John." Steve says, "Well done, Dean Pearson." Tom Bacon, Mr. Bacon is Count Stacula. Is that right? Is that what I should take from that?
Quite possibly.
Interesting.
We
should have known that.
I genuinely don't know. But well, yes and no, because I don't think he's played massively online. So I've not got a record, but it could well be.
It looks like a Count Dracula little emoji there. So
if that is Tom confirming
that
could well be Stacula, could well be Tom. If it is, very well done to you.
Very well done. Dean was indeed watching the stream. Well done, Dean, on getting through. But says to Steve, "We'll only be there Sunday, I'm afraid, as Saturday's golf for me." Fair enough. Well played, sir. Mr. Bacon says correct. So Count Stacula is indeed
amazing.
Mr.
Brilliant.
Bacon. Awesome stuff.
I'm wishing we'd known that because we would have been far more critical about his play. Obviously,
played awful.
One of the the show team. How have we? He's kept that very quiet from us. I mean, Paul's next door and he didn't say anything, so I don't know if Paul even knows that's him. So
gutted though, because a great name, Count Stacula. It just works extremely well.
We'll probably find Tom was playing this on his phone whilst playing cash at the Grosvenor Coventry. We'll probably find. Yeah.
Look, I think, Lee, had he not gone through, he wouldn't have said anything. Count Stacula would have been just delete account. It would have been delete account. Did you see what he did there? because I can't take
Very
credit for
nice.
that.
Very
Look,
nice.
Eddie speaks for us all. He says, great show. Well, actually, I'm not sure you're all saying great show, but he does say, good luck all. See you all tomorrow. So I guess that's our message on leaving tonight, Leigh. Enjoyable 2 nights. The real thing, it's going to feel very real turning up at DTD tomorrow. We'll kick off from 4 p.m. I think with the team event. There's tons of events, guys. All of the details are on the website, apat.com/WCOAP. If you want to find out anything, all of the questions are answered there. Whether you're coming up on Wednesday or showing yourself for a day on Saturday, or you want to, rail the final table on Monday, whatever, come and say hello. Can't wait to catch up with you all. Anything to add, Leigh, before we close this thing out and start to think about packing?
It's just time to roll the dice, Des. Roll the dice.
Roll the dice. Okay. Well, I think with that, guys, we shall say bon voyage, and we'll catch up with you when we catch up with you.
We'll see you all in Nottingham.
Gute Nacht.